Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon, and this is episode 142. You have 2 days left from the time I'm recording this. It is October 29th, so 2 days left to get your striped sweater finished up. The lighting in here isn't real great, and the color looks a little off on my screen, so if it is, I'm sorry. So, gosh, I forgot to say hello. Hello. Big hello and welcome to all new viewers, and a hello and thank you to all returning viewers. We are wrapping up our knit along, our striped sweaters, and it is so much fun seeing the striped sweaters because there's just something about a striped sweater that I love. I don't know what it is about it. They always catch my eye. So, love seeing the finished ones. Two wonderful prizes up for grabs. A skein of Liza, the 100% Superwash Merino in the Bussy colorway, and this beautiful skein from Daisy Knits. It is the Vine base in the color Tango. Beautiful, both of them. Lovelies. So yay! Prizes. Oh, so much to talk about. Really quick, I want to talk about, I was able to record today, Wednesday, like I normally do. I will talk in a slice of life, kind of what's going on. I might not be recording on Wednesdays anymore. I will still be recording. We just might have to move it to Sunday. So if next Wednesday I don't pop up right away in your iTunes feed, or you get an email from YouTube saying, hey, there's a new episode, don't be freaked out. That just means I'm going to record on Sunday. I know, like, on the calendar, like, Sunday is the beginning of the week. In my head, it's always Monday, right? So I wouldn't record this coming Sunday because that's still this week. And I wouldn't have enough, let's face it, between now and Sunday to get something new and interesting done. So if Wednesdays are no longer going to work because of my new schedule, we're just going to move it to the weekend. So we'll have to see. Because if not, it's going to be late in the day, kind of like it is today. It would actually be later in the day. And with daylight savings ending and all that, it's going to be so dark by the time I'm going to be able to record. I mean, it would be late in the evening. So we just might have to move it to the weekend. So, new pattern. I'm so excited. So I put it out yesterday, and I finally get to show it to you. I'm so excited because I love it. There's just that thing when you have an idea and it comes out just as good or better than you had imagined it. That's so gratifying. So the first one I'm going to show you, this is the one. It is called Rainbow Road. It is a cowl. This I use a Frabjous Fibers, has yarn. It is their Wonderland Yarns collection. They all have Alice in Wonderland inspired themes. This base is March Hare, and it is their 100% Superwash Merino. And then each color is a Alice in Wonderland theme. Like, I think the green here, it's looking so dark. It's like a green, like a true green. It's called Cabbages and Kings. And I think the red one's off with her red. And I can't remember the other ones. The purple might be the Cheshire Cat. But they come in a pack. So they sell them in mini skeins, so you could get this pack from Wonderland Fibers, or Wonderland Yarns, which is put out by Frabjous Fibers. It's a little confusing because I thought on Ravelry it would just be under Wonderland Yarns, because I'm like, I know it's owned by Frabjous, but it's Frabjous Fibers, Wonderland Yarns, I don't know. But it's the March Hare base, which is a worsted, and this color pack with these 5 colors is called Idleness and Mischief, which I just love. So this one's going to be mine. This is what I'm actually going to wear. So the button band is a faux button band. This whole thing is knit in the round. There's no back and forth. There's no actual button band. These are just sewn on. So there's definitely a spot. You'll know where the buttons go, I promise. There's like little stockinette squares in the stripes where they'll all go. And then the pattern is also written. Say you don't have buttons, you don't want to use buttons, or it's a great leftover user and like you're giving it as a gift and buttons aren't important. There are instructions, really simple instructions, on how to do it without putting the faux button band there. So I'll put it on. But yeah, this one is, like I said, probably this is going to be the one I wear this winter. These cute little buttons. The buttons I just got from my LYS, which local yarn shop, for those of you who have not caught up on the lingo. I know sometimes that happens. You get somebody who's kind of new. They're just wood buttons with like a design carved into them. I didn't want real colorful for this because I just really didn't want to take away from the colors, and I like the wood. And to show too that you don't have to have really loud buttons if you're more of a conservative kind of person. So it's nice, it's drapey. You can kind of lay it like this to where your buttons show. It works better with my coat because my hood coat kind of helps keep it standing up. But I love these colors. It smells so good. I washed it in soak. So that's the first one. So, like I said, Rainbow Road. Okay, so when I was making it, and I kind of had like in my head, like I wanted a pattern that was easy and quick, be great gifts for the holiday season, and since my daughter's learning how to knit and getting pretty good at it, I wanted something she'd be able to do. So all of the stitches are textured stitches. There's no special stitches, no nothing. Really simple, really fast, perfect for a beginner, but I think interesting enough for an experienced knitter. It smells so good. And this is a super wash wool, super soft, so nice. But my daughter's young, loves bright colors, so this is the one that I did for her. And I was kind of thinking like bright colors, kind of like a rainbow, and then I was like, it kind of goes around and around. They kind of remind me of like lanes, like a racetrack. I mean, I guess racetracks really don't have like lanes. But either way, so it kind of reminded me of Rainbow Road from like the Mario Kart. Totally, that's what it reminded me of, so that's kind of where it got its name. So, we are huge Mario Kart fans. So this one and the next one, because there's two versions of this, not two, the pattern's the same, two color versions, because these are actually going to be available at my LYS in kits. You get the buttons, 55 yards. You don't quite need that much. I'd say 50 yards. Even that, I mean, you know. But just to be sure, 50 yards. Where were they? Anyways, they're going to be kits. So you get 5 colors, quarter skein of each color, the buttons, and the pattern. All for $25. Talk about a perfect holiday gift. There you go. It's all ready to go. So this one has 5 colors. Well, they all have 5 colors. But this one has aqua. So aqua, orange, green, yellow, and pink. And this C has like chunky, colorful buttons. And then the other one, instead of aqua, it has purple. So when we were buying buttons from the Button Man, I was playing with these buttons. And these buttons right here inspired this whole cowl. So when we were buying buttons, he only had a couple of the bluish aqua buttons. And these were the 5 colors I wanted to go with. So I ended up saying, well, you know, he's got this purple. We could swap out some of the aquas for the purples. The purple one's here, and the purple stripe. It's dark on my screen. It's like a plummy purple. But anyways, so that way we could do kits. And I wasn't even sure what I was going to make at that point. And you have 2 color choices, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed designing it and knitting them. So much fun to put the buttons on it and really see the pattern come to life the way I envisioned it. And like I said, if you don't want big, different colored, funky buttons, you just go with a more traditional wood. These are more traditional rainbow colors. And I'm really happy with it. And the response from you guys out there has been awesome. I mean, really. I love it when other knitters love it as much as I do. So yay! And it's a nice cozy cowl because there's no lace or anything. It's just texture. It's going to be nice for these Midwest winters that we get. So those are kind of like finished objects, new pattern, although they were finished last week, but I couldn't show them to you yet. But moving into official finished objects, I have one. It is a shop sample for the knit shop, and I didn't quite have enough to do the full slouch, but that's okay because I'll put it on and you'll see. I think it's a good length. I never knit my sockhead hats as long as they're supposed to be, because then they're too slouchy for me. Just gotta kind of pull the back down. So this is a sockhead hat made of online super sock. Part of the Neptune series. I can't remember. It's like a number instead of a colorway. So there's the slouch. I love this. It's aquas and blues and greens. I think there's like a brownish stripe. Super cute. I love it. So I have to make one more. I used half of the skein. I knit the ribbing the 4 inches and then knit until I had 5 grams left to do the decreases, and that seemed to work. So, because when I was done, I had exactly half the skein left. So that's what I'll do with the next one. I'll do the ribbing 4 inches, knit till there's 5 grams left, and I know it's time to decrease. And I should pretty much have just a scrap left over. So it is the sockhead hat by Boho Knits. I can't remember her name, but it's under Boho Knits. So nice. That's looking not too washed out or anything. Works in progress. I have not had much knitting time at all. I feel like I almost felt like it came to a screeching halt. So I don't remember how much of this was done the last time I showed it to you. Did I show it to you last week? I am knitting Twig by Tiny Owl Knits. Her name's Stephanie. So I knit this piece, the cable piece. It's a really pretty chartreusey green. It's looking kind of like a drabby olive kind of color. But it's a real pretty yellowy chartreusey green. This beautiful cable pattern. So you knit this to the specified amount, and then you're supposed to join it in the round. But I'm waiting to join it in the round because you add a lining to it. So this is Plymouth Deer, which is a super fine, super bulky merino. Let's see if I have the tag. I do. And you use most of the skein. I had like this much left over. Not much. I was kind of getting a little nervous I was going to run out, but I was fine. You get 109 yards for 100 grams. Like I said, Plymouth Deer. That's what the tag looks like, at least on the one I bought. Sometimes it's so funny because I see tags, or I'll show tags, and then like a new shipment comes in and they look different. And then the lining, you just knit a strip out of this fun furish nightmare. It's super soft. Like I said, if you could like pet it, it feels like a kitten. It's so soft. It's not like the fun fur that feels like hairy and kind of gross. So the reason I haven't joined this in the round is because I am just going to knit this and keep checking it until they are the same length. Because you kind of got to pull the fun fur out to make sure, because it kind of just gets like sucked up. So that's what I'm doing there. and this fun furish kind of feeling of a yarn. Like I said, it's one of the less gross feeling fun furs. Fun fur grosses me out. It's just a personal thing. Some people love it, I know. But it comes looking like this. It is Caribou by Haiku. There's a little caribou drawn on the label. Let's see if there's a glare. So, it's put out by Skacel. So, I went the charcoal gray because I like the charcoal gray with the green. We had a few colors. I think we were sold out of cream. We had cream, a light tan, a dark brown, and the gray. I'm not sure what other colors they have it in. I think they have, I've seen it in like pastels as well. So this is the actual furry stuff that the pattern calls for the inside lining. And then like I said, it'll just slip over the head like this, and it's really nice and wide, and I like that it stands up on its own, because this is one of those days when we have like 3 feet of snow out and you have to go out and like shovel out your car. That's what this is going to be when I'm going to wear this. Otherwise, I'll wear a more loose, lighter cowl. But unfortunately, there is going to be a need for that soon. Sooner rather than later. I don't know. Fall is my favorite month. And of course, it's, I swear, the season that is the shortest. And then it's followed by winter, which is my least favorite month. I have one other thing that I started this week. So, I am doing the Eat, Sleep, Knit Yarnathon challenge thing. So, every quarter, you're put on a team. Give you a quick rundown, in case you haven't heard of it. It's an online store, Eat, Sleep, Knit. So, every year, I guess, they have a yarnathon, and you get yardage points for the yardage you buy, and you earn prizes. So then they have challenges every quarter, and this quarter's challenge is to knit a Stephen West design. Yeah, that stuff doesn't really float my boat. Just a personal thing. I mean, you know, my personal taste. Nothing against Mr. West. I'm sure he's fabulous. Never had the chance to meet him yet. But I'm like, shoot, that's 1,000 yardage points added to my total if I do this. And I would really like to finish the Yarnathon this year. I don't know that I will, but I'm so close. Like, so close. So I decided to suck it up and make an easier pattern. So I decided to use some of my Blue Moon Fiber Arts, the Targhee worsted wool. So the Targhee is the breed of sheep. And it's a huge skein. I've shown it. So if you saw months ago when I got it, it was this huge honkin' skein. And it's like 600 yards. It's huge. So I wound it up, and I loved it in the skein, or the hank. I love it wound up in the ball. Beautiful colors. It's aqua and like a reddish orange. Because it's not red and it's not orange. It is a reddish orange. It's only 2 colors, but when the 2 colors meet, they kind of muddy together to make like a brown and sometimes a green. I love it. The only problem with it is there's primarily only 2 colors. So as I was knitting it up, I definitely got, it's like a pulling, and it actually kind of goes in a spiral around the whole thing. I was wanting a little more variegation, but it is what it is. I'm not ripping it out. I'm not starting it over. I'm just going to go with it. So I am doing the Pearl Ridge scarf because there is a yardage requirement for this challenge. It has to be at least 200 yards. So like a pair of just like fingerless mitts, like short fingerless mitts, or a hat. Because at first I'm like, oh, I'll just do a hat. He's got the one hat that's pretty tame and I could do that. But it's not enough yardage. So I'm like, okay, this was the other thing that I'm like, okay, it looks easy enough. It's not totally out there. And it's something I think I would use because I'm a selfish knitter. I probably won't give it away since it's not a superwash wool. And I know whoever I would give it to would felt it and I would want to cry because I love this colorway. So Pearl Ridge scarf, which it's not really a scarf, it's like a really long cowl. I was kind of confused why he called it a scarf. I don't know. But, so you alternate knit and purls. It's a free pattern. I'm not giving anything away. So you knit like 4 rows of stockinette and do a purl ridge, which is nice because it helps kind of break up the pulling, but the pulling is still definitely there. So, the colorway is the Krabby McHappy Pants, one of my favorites by Blue Moon Fab Arts. So I wanted to use it in something where it wouldn't pull or flash too much, but like I said, it is what it is. I'm just going with it. With it being a huge skein, it was one of those impulse buys, like, there's one left. There's one left. It's my favorite colorway. I've never used this base. Everyone's saying wonderful things about it. It's springy. It's not super soft. It feels like a Cascade 220, but a little squishier. So I just bounced on it, right? It was mine. I had no plans for it, so I'm like, I could easily make a cowl, and a hat and probably mittens out of this ginormous skein. I mean, I'm almost done. I just have a few rows till the bind off. I still have all this left. So the pattern calls for 300 yards, which would be half if my gauge and everything is correct. So I'm glad to have it done. I'll be glad to get the extra credit for the yarn-a-thon. And like I said, I will totally wear it. I like to alternate my cowls. I like to keep things fresh. I don't always like to wear the same thing over and over. And I have a magazine to show, and it's right there. So I'm going to lean, reach and grab, and I'm probably not going to edit it out. And I'm sorry. I'm just putting it out there now. But, okay. Oh, wrong magazine. Maybe I didn't bring it. I thought it was sitting, this was that. Nope. Well, poo. I'm going to go grab it, and I'm going to have to edit it out. Sorry about that. Okay, I have the right magazine now. So, the shop owner at my LYS has a subscription to Vogue Knitting, and she always brings in her copies and stuff, so I can see them, like, right when they come out, because people who have a subscription get them before they hit the stores. So I always like to kind of preview it and know to be on the lookout for something. So she had gotten the Vogue Knitting Holiday 2014. And it has been a long time since I've bought a Vogue, because there hasn't been anything that I really liked. And I used to kind of collect knitting magazines because I was always afraid I was going to miss out. But then it was kind of like, money got a little tight, and I just hated spending the money, right, on something that I was like, ew. I don't love everything in it, but it definitely has some promising things. First things in the front, they kind of have like a little, they always have like new products and stuff to kind of tell you about, but this one's kind of like a gift guide, which is really neat because I've used some of the products. So they have on here the Gleaner, which I reviewed a few months back. So that's something, if you haven't checked it out, you didn't hear me talk about it before, definitely something you want to watch for. Also, we just got some of these into the knit shop, and they're these blocking pins, and they actually are like rectangles with like 3, or let's see, the small ones have 4, so 4 to 8 little prongs. They're down here. Super awesome. I totally want to own a set at some point. So, you know, they have just some really neat little knitter gift ideas, because it is the holiday issue. They have a really neat article on embracing the provisional cast-on, which I personally hate. I am not a lover of the provisional cast-on. So it's kind of ironic that I had just been talking about that to somebody, and then there's an article about embracing it. There's this really pretty, it's lacing it up with brioche. I think this is a really pretty scarf. I'm trying to see a scarf. I mean, it's almost almost a stole. It's kind of like the width is between a scarf and a stole. I've seen brioche a lot of places lately, so it's kind of a trendy thing. But I did think that was pretty. I think that would make a nice gift for someone if somebody is knit worthy. What else? Some of the stuff in here. It is a Vogue, you know. I thought this sweater was cute if you left off the bow. I'm just not a fan of the bow. But, hey, someone could be like, I can look like a Christmas present for Christmas and want to knit it up. Could happen. For some reason, their chunky sweaters are all the rage this season, it seems. Interweave just put out a whole magazine of nothing but chunky knits. And not my thing. It just looks big and bulky. It does look comfy. But one thing I have to say that's a kind of a peeve of mine, I hate when people use these little skinny belts and belt their sweaters. So they did it in this. Otherwise, I think that's a cute sweater pattern. Especially if you did want to make something a little more on the chunkier side. I'm trying to see if it says this page. They used blue sky alpacas, worsted hand dyes. It looks chunkier than a worsted. I'm just saying. And then they really lost me at this one. Because it's kind of, the sweater pattern I think is nice. I think it'd be a great pattern. But it looks like she rolled on like a pricker patch or something. It's all like hairy, and I just don't like the yarn they used. Otherwise, I think it's a really cute, loose, fitting sweater. I think it looks very comfy. I actually thought this was really cute. It is lots of like cabley. It's a cardigan. That beautiful wine color that I cannot wear. So I really did like that one. I like that it just has a tie instead of buttons, because I have not had good luck with cardigans with buttons lately. But I wouldn't use the tie. This really disappointed me, because there was so much potential, and then it's like someone got lazy. So there's this scarf, and it's cables. So it looks like there's cables and then like sections of garter, but at the bottom you would think maybe you'd end it with the cables. There are these like big, they almost look like it'd be like 12 inches long at least of garter stitch. So beautiful cables around the face, and big sections of garter stitch. Why would you put all that time into all those cables to put garter stitch at the edge? I was confused by that. So I would just go and do the cable of the whole scarf. You're going to put that much time and effort. And then they kind of took here, I'm trying to see if it says what yarn they use. Holding 2 strands of Rowan's Heathered Lima together and add an oomph to the trio, the cables, the wool, furs picked up in the short rope. Doesn't say what kind of yarn. They use Rowan for the red, but they have the furry stuff. It's lined with the furry stuff, much like the twig cowl. So that is just a bigger, looser version. Which with the twig cowl that I'm knitting, I mean, you could knit it as long as you wanted to. Just make sure you make the lining just as long. But I'm like, kind of feeling a little on trend. And the reason I bought this magazine are these 2 sweaters here. Well, one's a sweater, one's a poncho. I love these. And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the color they went with. Because I saw these and I was like, oh my god, I have to have this magazine. I love this cardigan. I love the Fair Isle around the yoke. I love the bright green. Like I said, I think that's totally the colors that captured me. But I would totally attempt to knit that. I don't know how well I would be, because color work is where I lack. And then I love this as well. So it is a poncho with more Fair Isle around the yoke. And it just sits, seems to come to the top of her pants. Love the colors. I'm like, nailed it. Totally nailed it. They have a few other color work items. One's pretty plain. I did like this one as well. It has ferrule around the yoke, and then it has like buttons. So I wouldn't do those colors. I really like the lime and the aqua, the pink, the orange, or the other ones. But I do like kind of the chevron-y pattern, and I think it's really cute. So, and then they go and they lose me. I wish the stripes were just going the other way, because then I would totally consider knitting this. So, love the colors they picked. Love the pattern of the ferrule, but the sweater is knit sideways. So, I would knit it if it were like this. Not so much like this. And I know that, you know, vertical stripes just to make you look longer and thinner. I'm just not a fan. No. Looks too much more like a circus tent. Not that I'm saying it makes her look big. It's just the colors and the stripes like that. That's what it reminds me of. She looks fabulous. So, like I said, some fun color work, some cables, chunky. I mainly bought it for the bright colored ferrule sweaters because I'm a sucker for that. But I ordered this off Eat Sleep Knit because I still had a bit of a store credit. So I got it for free because of the store credit. And then I got a lotto ticket and won $5 more in credit. So I'm like, woohoo! Like I said, so Vogue Knitting Holiday 2014. If it's not on newsstands, because I haven't seen it where I live yet, it should be out very, very soon. So, that's it for the knitting. So, if you leave me now, I will see you next week, possibly later in the week. And if you're sticking around, we're moving into a slice of life. So, I'm so excited to report that I got the job. It kind of all happened so fast because I started Monday. So I started Monday 5 days after putting in the application. I've never got a job that fast. Ever. I know someone's like, oh my god, well, what are you doing? And I don't want to say where I'm working. So to say what I'm doing, I will do that. So I am working in a candy shop, ironically. So all of the stuff I'm not supposed to be eating and I'm supposed to be staying away from because I'm trying to be healthier and staying trimmer after all the work I've put into it, and I am peddling candy. Oh, the irony. But I've never done it before. And I'm one of those people, if I have to do something new, I like to do something new, literally. It's fun. I get to work with the public. I know a lot about the product. It's super fun. So, like I said, I'm not going to say where I work. I'm not going to say anything about that. You know, I can't talk about any of the secret processes or recipes or anything like that. I don't do any of the actual, like, candy making. I'm not a chocolatier. There are some things I'll get to make. Like, in Ohio, a big thing here is Buckeyes. So, I think most people know what a Buckeye is. But if you don't, really quick, it's like a peanut butter mixture. So, it's peanut butter, and I don't know their recipe yet because I've only been there 2 days. And but I've made it at home, so it's usually peanut butter, sometimes powdered sugar, I can't remember what else. I think there was something else. And you mix it all together and it makes this like, it's like peanut butter, but a more creamy consistency, more of a candy consistency. And then you usually stick a toothpick in it and then dip it almost all the way in chocolate and then pull it out so the peanut butter is still showing at the top and it looks like a Buckeye. So being in Ohio, it's the Buckeye state. We have lots of Buckeye trees. There's the college football team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. So Buckeyes are a big deal here. So I will get the opportunity to make that. I do get to package the candy and stuff when I'm not helping customers and get to do stuff like that. So it's fun. It's a lot to wrap my brain around because precision is everything. It is still working with food, so, you know, you got to be ever so careful with everything. But it's fun. Everybody that I've been working with has been super nice and very helpful. It's just a lot. I mean, it's learning something completely new, something totally out of my element. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for me. It's gonna be good for my family. It's gonna definitely help us where we need to be right now and everything. So, but it is pretty much full time. And my husband's job, the way his schedule is, it's kind of funny because we don't have a day off together, but somebody's always home. Just the way our schedules happen to work out. With the hours and days I work, they're completely different than he works. And it doesn't really, it's crazy. But his schedule changes all the time. So I never know how his will be. Mine seems to be pretty set, which is good for me. There are hours that I can work with that still let me have time with my family. And I still get to be at the knit shop on Saturdays. Super excited. So, because that was one thing I was really kind of sad to give up, but, you know, what I need to do for my family comes first. So, during the week, I will be at my job, and then Saturdays I will be at the knit shop. So, super excited. And still nervous, you know, it's still, you know, I mean, when my manager is younger than I am, I finally have that, oh my god, I'm old feeling. Especially when, like, part-time, like, high school kids come in, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm, like, old enough to be your mom. Crap. How did that happen? Life goes by way too fast, for sure. But I'm excited. I'm excited. It is fun. It is really fun. Especially the different kinds of people that come in, and, you know, everybody likes something different. So, stuff that I kind of am like, you know, other people love and will tell you it's the best thing in the shop. And there's things that are my favorite that someone might be like, not so much. So that is part of the reason why I might have to move to Sundays, because during the week I am busy with work. Saturday I will be at the knit shop. So that just kind of leaves me Sunday to where I don't have anything to do and I can really sit down and give this the attention that it deserves. So today I'm actually supposed to be at work, but I got the day off because I had jury duty. I swear, it seems like so many people right now in, like, the knitting community have mentioned either being called for jury duty or posting their summons on Instagram. Not like the whole thing, but just like part of it to where you can tell it's like, oh, it's jury duty. It took forever for them to select people, because some people, it's like, shut your mouths. Like, you keep talking. Oh, my dog barks, sorry. They keep talking. Like, you can tell they're trying to give excuses to try to be excused from it, and she's like, oh, just shut up already. You're gonna take forever. But I ended up not being on the jury. I was dismissed after they had gotten all their jurors, so I was a bit relieved. Although I know it's my civic duty. Really didn't want to do it. I was nervous, and I hated that, you know, as I'm going and applying for this job, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, and I took, like, my summons paper with me, like, look, I'm not making this up, I really got called for jury duty. So, but it worked out the way it did. It seemed like the case that I would have been on was nothing. It was, I don't know, kind of silly, but I guess not, because somebody was being accused of a crime. I didn't stay around. They're like, you can stay and watch how the trial goes. I'm like, oh, heck no. So, but I didn't get out. I mean, it took all morning, so, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of reason to go in for just a couple hours when they had given me the day off. So, the last thing I want to talk about are mugs, because I like to give people their proper thank you. And other people have said they like seeing them so they know what they look like in their area, or if they're going to be traveling, to know that a certain city or state has one. So I need to thank Amy D, she sent me a beautiful Atlanta mug. I love the colors of this, and I love the big old peach. So it has a peach, it has race cars, the skyline. I'm assuming the Capitol building. I think that's, would that be a magnolia flower? I think so. I can't say I know off the top of my head Georgia's state flower. So thank you, ABD. I've used it already. I was using it this morning. So love those colors. And then my friend Michelle comes and visits me at the knit shop, went traveling. And in her travels, she got me a Pittsburgh mug, which is exciting because I've been to Pittsburgh. And a beautiful city. Everybody there was so nice and friendly. The knit shop I stopped in, just absolutely so nice. I mean, super helpful. So you got the skyline, you have the river, bridges. They have so many bridges there. The comedy and drama mask. I'm assuming they must have a lot of theater or something in the area. Not overly familiar with Pittsburgh. And then she went to Utah, and it was so funny. She's like, they don't drink a lot of coffee in Utah. She had a heck of a time finding one. So the hotel she was staying in, which I think was close to Salt Lake or in Salt Lake, had a Starbucks in the hotel. So that's how she was finally able to get some. So I love the cactus, their Capitol building, the beautiful like rock formations, and then the mountains with skis. So thank you, Amy and Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love them. So that puts me at the halfway mark for collecting mugs. I know, right? Like, totally blows my mind. But I figure now that I've hit the halfway mark, that means they're going to come out with new ones. I hope they add more, not because, I mean, if I collect them all, great. If not, no big deal. I mean, I don't think I'll ever get them all because I don't know enough people in Canada. But they're such beautiful mugs, and I would love people from all different areas to have access to them because I enjoy mine so much, and I'm sure other people would enjoy them as well. So I hope to see you in a week, and if not, it might be a week and a half. I hope to get more knitting in. A full-time job really kind of just sucks the life out of the knitting, especially starting off because I've been exhausted. I know once I get in the routine, it'll get easier. So, like I said, if I'm a week behind, or, you know, a few days late, don't freak out. It's okay. So until then, I am Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. I'm RetroLemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Fitbit, and Weight Watchers. And until next week, maybe week and a half, I'll see you then. Bye.